Hello there everybody and welcome to the show. Mark's window has gone way out of shape. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. And also enable Mark's audio. Hello there. He is my co-host, not guest, co-host. Down there is my good friend Mark. Tonight we're going to be talking drone news, articles from across the tinterweb and all that lot, you know what I mean? So, how are you today, Mark?
I am better than mediocre.
That's basically just a slight adjustment on what I usually say.
Exactly. I'm trying to modify it ever so slightly. But no, I'm good. I'm very well. I'm doing very well, thanks, Steve. How about yourself?
Yes, spot on, thank you. Yeah. And I know he's not in yet. I know Brant Ariel's in yet. But yes, I do. I have actually put the light bulb in now, if you've noticed. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The light bulb is very much in place up there.
That's headline news number one right now. Steve secures lighting in his household. Paul Murray, hey man, how you doing?
Let there be light. Yes. So right, let's have a quick run through the chat because there's a lot of names in here tonight. EBRFPV, hello there. Welcome to the stream. That's Lauren. She sits off camera. Feel free to say hello to her in the chat. Do you want me to point the camera at you?
No, thank you.
I knew that would be the answer. EBRFPV, thank you for joining us, mate. Asgard Studios, hello there, mate. It's good to see you back again. Love My Drones, thank you for joining us. Exactly right there. Paul Murray has just joined us as well. And Mark, would you like to do your rendition of the Mana Mana song?
No.
No.
Please no.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yes. Fair enough. So, I am assured that you have some sort of good drone news stories tonight.
It could be.
Or is assured a strong word?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're all good.
Yes. Ruby Parajules, hello there. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Yes. And I like it because we do drone news, but we get people from all different, corners of YouTube, don't we, showing up, and I like that.
And Drone UK is back too. Thanks so much, man, for coming back. We appreciate you coming in.
Drone UK, hello there.
Awesome.
Hello, yes.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. So, as you can see, I've put a light bulb in, and I've been in the shower especially because I was starting to look a bit dishevelled. So,
yes.
I do look dishevelled, but I don't really care. You know that. You should have seen me about 4 years ago with my long hair and my beard and that. I had some nicknames. And I don't really want to say them on the stream, right? So.
Yeah, they were a bit we'll just say they're a bit descriptive, but not necessarily things we want to say online.
Yes. So thank you everybody who's come in. Thank you for joining us. 14 people watching. Please say hello in the chat, you know what I mean? We'll shout you out, say hello and all that lot. Eagle VP. Oh, dude, honestly, that guy melts my heart. Edward Myers, hello there. Hello. Oh my goodness, lots of great channels joining us tonight. Yes, Eagle VP, hello. I've noticed you've posted some new videos lately. I haven't got round to them yet, but I will do. I've been quite busy.
I have. He's great. He's got some great videos from his trip to the...
Yes. So
great.
That's all good. Thank you for joining us. Now, we'll go against tradition a little bit, Mark. Would you like to start the first story tonight?
I would be honored, sir.
Okay, so let me switch over to there. Your window keeps going out of shape. I'll just fix that. There we go.
It fits me. It
My
fits
hands
me.
are off. There we go. Okay.
Now this is. I'll put this. It's really not a new story. It's from last year, but I found something unique that I figured I'd share with everybody here. So let me copy this, put it into the chat. Boom, 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 and basically Caltech and JPL firing quad rotors out of cannons. Now, this is a delivery system for drones, and it's in prototype form. And if you look at it, there is a video, which of course I will not share. But if you go to the link, it shows a very, very rudimentary cannon system, not like a howitzer or anything. It's not like it's projecting it miles away or whatnot. But it is a proof of concept because, as anybody knows, if you're trying to get to a certain area that might be a bit more remote, you're going to be using a lot of battery power in order just to get to the site you're looking for. Their proposition here is to actually if you look at this picture, and I'll read a little bit of the caption. They call it the squid. Those arms fold down. Now there are a lot of drones on the market there in the shape of an egg, but this one looks like a projectile shot from a cannon. It's got tail, stabilizer tails and whatnot. And this thing literally gets shot out of this air cannon or whatever, and then the arms pop out, and then they can fly. So in theory, you should be able to fire this thing at a distance to get it close to where you want to fly, and then the arms pop out, and then you can conserve the battery power for flying and then retrieving it after the fact. So you're saving a bit of battery power with it. It says squid is a quadcopter that is basically launched from a tube, unfolds midair, and transitions to stable flight without the need for a stationary takeoff
quick
pad.
heads up, Mark. It's not actually displaying what you're talking about.
It's not?
No.
Oh, well, you know why? Because I don't have the screen share on. Remember I turned it off?
Oh, yes.
There we go. How about now? Is that better?
There we go. Okay.
There we go. We turned it off so I could demo something for you.
There
earlier,
we
so
go.
Thanks for bringing that up. So that's what happens when you go against
Rookies at the streaming game.
Well, we go against our grain and we do something different, and then we talk about it, and then we lose sidetrack. So yeah, if you go, there's a video. They show it shooting. They show it being launched from the back of a truck. It says squid is a quadcopter that is basically launched from a tube, unfolds midair, and transitions to stable flight without the need for a stationary takeoff pad. The system, developed by Caltech and NASA JPL researchers, could find applications in emergency response and planetary exploration. As useful as drones are up in the air, the process of getting them there tends to be annoying at best and dangerous at worst, considering what it takes to launch something as simple as a DJI Mavic Pro or a Parananavi. You need to find a flat spot free of debris or obstructions. Now, not only that, the setup, fairly easy with Mavics, but if you fly an Inspire or a Typhoon H like I have, setting those up and getting them ready and prepared for launching can be a time-consuming process. It says, let's see here, you need to find a flat spot free of debris and obstructions. Again, Mavic 2s and Mavic Airs and stuff, they have a very low footprint, low profile. You can't have high grass or anything for that as well. It says, I'm obviously being a little bit dramatic here, but ground launching drones is certainly both time consuming and risky. And there are occasions where getting a drone into the air as quickly and as safely as possible is a priority. Let's see here. So again, there is a kind of a neat video there that I recommend that you go and click on. It shows it in action, and I think it's pretty. And again, it's not like it's launching it hundreds of feet. It's just launching it maybe, I don't know, 10 yards or such, but again, it's just a prototype at this point. But it's a neat little design, and they call it the squid for what looks to be like obvious reasons. It kind of looks like a squid. It says prototype squid shown here weighs 530 grams and is about 27 centimeters long. Folded up, it's just over 8 centimeters in diameter. Squid gets its initial boost of 15 meters per second, referred to as muzzle velocity in the paper, from a pneumatic baseball pitching machine. That's kind of cool, which gives the drone an apex of about 10 meters. I wasn't that far off. Immediately after the drone exits the launcher, a nichrome wire heats up and burns through the monofilament line holding the arms in place. Driven by springs, the arms snap out, blah, 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 and it starts flying immediately. As soon as the motors spin up at about 200 meters per second, squid automatically orients itself into hovering attitude and can be controlled like a normal quadcopter within less than 1 second of the launch. Landing is a bit of a challenge, although apparently it can safely land if the bottom touches the ground first at low speeds, but if you watch, most people in the video are hand catching it anyway. Squid's design is easily scalable, and the researchers are currently working on both smaller and larger prototypes. The 6-inch squid would be large enough to carry a battery and payload, enabling significantly more autonomy, including vision-based ballistic stabilization. So again, there's a picture of it that I'm showing right now on the screen where it's been launched from the truck. And it's a novel thing, and I'm sure it's going to have some applications, but I just found this to be one of the more unique developments in drones that I haven't seen yet. I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't know. Any thoughts on this?
When you said it launches from the ground to save battery life, I had visions of it launching like a kilometre or two away.
Well, I think that is the plan eventually, and that's where I see this. As long as it can withstand the G-forces of being propelled that far and that fast. Again, the electronics will be a bit sensitive to that, so I don't know how far they're planning on doing this, but I do believe that they are planning on getting it to go a little bit further. Like I said, that's why I said it's not like launching it from a howitzer where it's going to wind up being a kilometer away. But in theory, it's kind of a neat idea. I mean, think about it. You could conceivably launch this thing if it can withstand that kind of pressure at a distance, and then as long as it receives radio signal, you could take over, and as soon as it reaches its apex, it could be the arms could spring out and you could be flying it and doing what you got to do with it, whether it's taking aerial photography or samples or whatever the case is. I mean, a lot of applications to this. I mean, think about it. They use all kinds of devices for studying hurricanes, tornadoes, and such. This would be a way to get it to where it needs to be. Because let's face it, with those arms out, it'd have a hard time fighting the wind. But you could shoot this into the eye of a hurricane or something like that, and not have to worry about passing through it. I mean, there are all kinds of.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on! I think it's possible. I mean, the eye is pretty stable.
Oh yeah, where's the eye of the hurricane? I don't know. I'll just fire me drone, just smash right through the wall of a hurricane.
Why
Boom,
not?
There we go. Yeah.
They could conceivably encase it in something a bit more durable and get it through more, precarious situations, and then the case could open up and then it could deploy. I don't know. I mean, it's just another novel way of working with a drone, which I thought was very interesting. So just a little story to get started here. And let's see. They do have a significant distance away. It says, additionally, the rover must have a significant distance away from the helicopter drop site before the helicopter can safely take off. I'm just looking to see if there's anything more regarding any plans on going any further distances. But again, let's face it, it doesn't look very hardy right now. I mean, it's just what looks to be like very lightweight plastics and such, but who knows where this is going. So,
yeah,
interesting.
I'm backwards and forwards a bit with Eagle VP in the chat. Love My Drone says, getting the payload moving takes the most power. Once moving, less energy required. How we get our hang time when you think of it? Yes, indeed. Yeah. Obviously, the takeoff, you've got that initial thing. Anytime you ascend, that's where you're using all your power. Descending, you know what I mean, or going with the wind, whatever. As long as you're not going against the momentum, you're saving energy basically. Right. So if you've got something on the ground that can launch you high up to begin with, you're already saving a couple of minutes battery time, aren't you?
Exactly, and if you're not worried about it getting back and you just have to locate it and pick it up, I could conceivably think that they would put some sort of parachute or recovery system so that all your power is reserved just for your searching and your flying and whatever it is you're researching, so you can conserve a lot of power doing it. Okay, again, the applications are I'm not going to say endless, but are more having the ability to, like you said, supersede that ability to bring the payload to where it needs to be and such. So
Drone UK in the chat says be cool one day if you could join the panel with a little happy smiley face emoji. That sounds interesting. If
I think you would be a great guest on the channel.
If you want to get in touch, the best way, if you search AV UK like that on Facebook, you'll find my Facebook page. You can private message me on there, and we can have a chat about it, mate. Maybe one day getting you on the panel, and that'd be all good, mate. Yes.
Oh, I think it'd be wonderful. Not only that, if you go to my channel under the info section, you'll find my email as well. So you can hit us both up, and we'll definitely talk with you. As long as we do everything with Skype when we do our channel. So if you're not opposed to using Skype, that would be great. And yeah, would love to chat with you, man.
Yes, Miss Monty P, hello there. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Wednesday night in the midst of all the other stuff that's going on, and that leads nicely into my next story, Mark. If that's rounded up nicely.
Yeah, why not? Let's do this.
Yeah, go on then. Okay, so over to my story then. This is from dronedj.com, and we do reference this website a lot because they do a lot of drone stories, of course. So check them out, click the link and all that lot and go check it for yourself if you're interested in doing so. And this one is drone footage shows the effect COVID-19 has on LA's traffic. Let's be honest, it's difficult to avoid at the minute. I'm not going to go too much into that side of things, but it does bring a few interesting topics up. So right there, I can imagine these freeways in the US Like, I could imagine them being chock-a-block. And there is actually a video, it's an Instagram video, so I'm going to play a small clip, only a few seconds of it just to show you. So drone footage captured last Sunday shows the effect the COVID-19 virus is having on one of LA's biggest problems, traffic. The footage captures an almost empty 110 freeway compared to what would normally be heavy traffic at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday. Drone UK just sent a PM, I'll get that in a minute, okay? Eagle VP, you never say that to me, guys. I'm not good enough for you two, lol. Eagle VP, I was just thinking of something actually. Don't say these things, right? I was just thinking I have a use for you. Don't worry. Okay.
Wait, and Keith, I do believe I interviewed you on my channel one time, so that's not necessarily true, but I think it's still a great idea to have him on again. I mean, I have no problem with that, but don't say that, Eagle. You make me feel bad.
Yeah. Okay, so journalist and filmmaker Eric Olson has managed to capture images of the 110 freeway with his drone. Eric stated that it's unreal, not even on a slow Sunday is there this little traffic. Highways in Italy are also deserted due to the lockdown in the country. Spanish police have been out in force with megaphone-equipped drones shouting at people not to break the quarantine in the country. The commentator on the Instagram post below had the following to say on the time he was able to cut from his drive from Washington DC to Boston as a result of COVID-19. On Saturday I drove from DC to Boston in a little more than 6 hours. It should be 9 or 10. So that's cool. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video. I'm not going to like full screen it or anything like that. But this is just a video from Instagram. That's insane, isn't it? That's like
a ghost sign.
It is, isn't it? It looks like nothing's moving, doesn't it? Obviously a few cars and that, but yeah, okay.
Where is it, LA?
In LA, yeah.
Oh,
it looks like right near
LA,
Central as well, it looks like. Yeah, so that's crazy. So what I was actually saying to Matt just before the stream, I'm going to say it on the stream as well, like, I wish I actually got registered with my drone now. I'm going to have to get it done because before the UK goes on lockdown, I need some footage of empty Grimsby and Cleethorpes. I really do. Obviously not flying in the congested areas, don't shoot me, but you know, on the beach and places where it's out in the middle of nowhere where you can catch a glimpse into where you can catch a glimpse into what should be busyness, basically.
There will be a lockdown in a minute if you carry on with those logs.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Eagle VP's putting clucks in the chat. Eagle VP, are you a registered drone flyer? Yes, I've got another job for you. And all the footage is going on my channel. You'll get credit. Drone UK said, I was thinking I'd love to film Manchester but be illegal. Once the weather gets better, I'll be doing another of the city from the outskirts like last year's. Yes, indeed. I'm going to have to get registered like sharpish and basically get flying because the highest views I've got on my channel is that video of Cleethorpes seafront early in the morning. Imagine a title like Coronavirus in Cleethorpes, this is what the streets look like. You know what I mean? Something like that. It'd be amazing, right? Clickbaity, of course, but
well it's funny you say that because Philly Drone Life, apparently I didn't get the chance to do it. He did a live stream where he flew over Philadelphia, and basically the headline was Philadelphia ghost town. He said it was completely just barren, which is unusual for a city like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that video I did of Cleethorpes, it looks empty anyway because it's so early in the morning. I think it was about 6 in the morning, I think, on like a relatively cool day. It's like a seaside resort town, and I could probably get away with passing that off as coronavirus Cleethorpes. Now I'm only messing, but you know what I mean. Anything with that in at the minute is getting clicks and getting views. So if you've got a drone and you can fly legally somewhere where it should be really busy and it's no longer busy anymore, I'd highly recommend doing it. I'm willing to bet you'll get some views.
Register now because we could be in lockdown by next week, people are saying.
Possibly, yeah. Drone UK says just getting a free Saturday or Sunday morning with decent weather. Yeah, the weather in the UK has been dreadful recently.
You had a lot of
storms
rain
in the past 2 months. Yeah. Eagle VP says yes, re-edit it. Yeah. Just edit in some like some of them signs, biohazard signs now and again, like on the streets. Is it, and sort of editing like a sound of a klaxon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John Spizzo, hello there from North Carolina. Hello. Thank you
Hey,
for
John.
joining us. There we go. I've seen you around before. Do you know what I mean? Blue Wrench coming your way straight away. We like to make people feel welcome. I've just dropped my entire mouse setup. That's the mouse setup. Yeah, okay. So that's all good. This show, I'm loving it, right? Okay. Mark, over to your story, mate, unless you've got anything to add. Is there anywhere around Syracuse where it's empty at the minute?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I went out shopping today, and I am going to do my little commentary, and it's going to get a little political, but I hope you don't mind, Steve. I wouldn't call it political, but I am going to voice my opinion on how ridiculous people are getting with hoarding and such. It was traffic was light compared to what it normally is, and I did a little flying, and then I stopped at the store to pick up a few things, and all the meat is gone, all the soups are gone. For crying out loud, I wanted to buy 4 cans of tomato soup. They only let me buy 2, and there wasn't that much left on the shelves. And I was able to get eggs, which lately has been hard to get, but everybody in the store was kind of in the similar situation as I was. We're just going there for a couple of things, and everybody's walking around with their heads shaking, going, "What is wrong with people?" They're treating this like as if like Armageddon is hit, and it got even worse because I ran into a gentleman who actually works in a hospital, and he's an avid shooter. I guess he has a competition this weekend. He went out to go get some rounds for his rifle, went to Walmart, and he picked up the last box of rifle ammo for his competition this weekend. And he goes, all the sporting goods stores, not only have we bought out all the bread and the meat in grocery stores, but here in the U.S., at least in my town, they bought all the ammunition too. What are we thinking here, folks? That is just ridiculous. I mean, to think that now you got to arm yourself through this, that's just absolutely ridiculous. So that to me is just proof positive that we have gone nuts here in the States. So it's just crazy. So I get it. I know that you want to stock up on stuff, but I don't think the coronavirus, it's not Armageddon, folks. You're allowed to leave your house. You're allowed to shop. You don't have to buy everything. Everybody has zombie apocalypse. I think that's how people are treating it. So,
just remember, just don't panic. Be rational, right?
Yes.
Don't hoard, especially don't hoard toilet paper and cleaning products, because just think, it goes against all logic, right? So you want all the cleaning products, right? Let's ignore the toilet roll thing because that's just ridiculous anyway. But cleaning products, things like bleach, hand sanitizer, things like that. If you hoard it all, I'm not speaking to anyone in particular in the chat, but if somebody say hoards it all, and then somebody doesn't have it, or a whole group of people don't have it, they're going to get ill and pass it on to the person who hoarded all the stuff that they needed. So it's counterproductive. It's a team effort.
Stop buying baby formula when you don't need it.
Right,
a baby needs that. That's their food.
It's the Lauren takeover. Right, okay. John of Drones, hello there. Yeah,
says,
John of Drones, we were just speaking serious about coronavirus there. Now we're going back there, okay? So, right, Mark, on to your next story then.
Yep. Now this is something that we've talked about in the past. It is a relatively new add-on to anti-drone technology. So I'll put this into the chat. Go ahead and take a look at it. We've looked at all kinds of anti-drone technology, and this one is specific. It says the Pentagon is spending millions on hunter drones with nets. And here it says, after an F-22 Raptor nearly collided with a cheap drone in 2017. And again, I don't know, cheap drone, Raptor, I think the Raptor would win.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. Air Force's Combat Command received permission to shoot down unmanned flying objects that get too close to its air bases. But shooting down drones over cities is less than ideal solution to a growing problem. So the military is trying to new tact, spending millions of dollars on defensive drones armed with nets. Now, yeah, they're concerned that when they shoot down a drone that it's going to land on people. I'd be more concerned with the ammunition they use shooting down the drone than the drone itself.
Yeah, you're sort of trying to eliminate one problem with an even worse problem.
Exactly. Well, at least they're going into this. It says Defense Innovation Unit, or DIU, is contracting with Utah-based Fordham Technologies for its Sky Dome anti-drone system, which marries net-armed drones with drone hunters with a radar system dubbed True View, while other anti-drone systems look for the radio signals that connect drones to their operators and then try to jam or home in on them. Skydome can discard the assumption that an incoming drone is emitting anything at all. It is very easy to program a drone to fly completely autonomously. It can be done with commercial off-the-shelf drone, Fordham's CTO and co-founder Adam Robertson says. Now, again, we've seen this in action, and I don't have the link anymore. I cleaned house the other day. There was that one where they not only does it shoot a net at the drone, but it captures it and keeps it tethered so it can deliver it back to any predetermined location. The Skydome combines radar sensors aboard the drone hunters, and even with other sensors, it's an ensemble approach that mimics somewhat the way an animal or human might hunt in the wild, using a variety of data sources to make targeting determinations, blah, blah, blah. Once the system detects something, Skydome uses image recognition and AI to classify the object and its intent. Is it a bird? Is it a drone? Is it friendly or unfriendly? Robertson said it uses the intelligence gained from each of its sensors combined, and of course, launched automatically upon detection. The net will capture the drone. And I don't know if, hold on for a second. Gotta shut that thing up. Oh, it'll shut off eventually.
Yeah.
Stupid phone. I don't even know where my phone is right now. It's going off.
Drone UK says it's got to go, guys. Been good to chat.
Hey,
I'll try to come on again. Yes, indeed. If you've private messaged me on Facebook, mate, I'll get answering that straight after the stream. Passion for hunting and fishing's got to cook, but he's going to leave his phone on. Thank you very much. I can't endorse anybody does that. It's against YouTube rules, apparently, but thank you. You're free to do what you like. Thank you. Okay.
What can't you endorse?
Yeah. No, I don't think you're allowed to ask people to just leave streams running for you and things like that.
Yeah,
it goes against the algorithms and that, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, I got you. But we appreciate it anyway. Thank you very much, Passion for Hunting and Fishing. He's a good guy, too. I popped into his stream after a long time. I hadn't seen his stuff in a while, and I went on to his stream the other night. Okay, after snaring a drone in its net, the drone hunter brings it back. Nabbing a drone out of the sky offers a few advantages over attempting to jam it or blow it up. You avoid bringing laser-riddled drones crashing down on urban crowds. You don't foul up cellular communication networks, and you get more out of forensics analysis, which can show who launched the drone and from where. And again, that's similar to what we've seen in the past, and I've seen some of those in action. This does not have a link to a video, which is a shame, because the video I had in that other article was absolutely, it was actually cool to see it. And it's autonomous. It actually seeks out the drone on its own. It's not like there's a pilot who's aiming to shoot this net. It does it all on its own. Really cool, really interesting. And again, if you're an idiot and you're flying near airports or air bases, then you're asking for this. And I say, folks, have at it. Do what you got to do to take care of these drones that are in your airspace when they shouldn't be. Because we always want to fly safe and legally. That's what we're here about, and that's what we want to make sure people are doing. So, yeah, they're still on the rise with this anti-drone technology. And I mean, I do like the fact that this doesn't shoot down the drone so it can hurt somebody. And I'm glad they're thinking about the effects of that kind of operation, where this is a decent, and they get more out of it. You can capture the drone and hunt down the actual owner and pilot of it. So kudos to you, but really millions on hunter drones with nets. Oh, we'll spend money on anything, won't we? And lots of it.
Yeah. PMDB videos, hello there, welcome. Welcome indeed. Yes, PMDB videos, you do tend to change channel a lot. I know you've got several channels, but welcome, buddy. Thank you for joining us there.
Yes, thanks for coming in, man.
Now, my favourite thing to take down the drones was that laser that we
had
a couple of weeks ago.
Man, I want one.
Like literally like a laser, you know, it can tag it in on the drone and just shoot it down from like potentially miles away. But the problem is, if the laser misses, then it could just like go straight through a plane behind it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Love My Drone says, I just like to reiterate, this is not a huge problem, if one at all. The military loves to have an excuse to spend money. Yes, indeed. They've got very deep pockets. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree with you. We've been reporting on that since we started this, that there is a problem that doesn't exist that they want to spend money on, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, commercial flying and deliveries. But now the military's involved, and, you know, I get it. It's precautionary, maybe it's a bit prophylactic, but they're going to spend money on it, and hopefully they'll never need to use it. But, you know, there are going to be the idiots doing this, but we're creating a problem that doesn't exist. you know.
Without going down the tinfoil hat route too much, I'm willing to bet that at some point, somewhere in the world, there'll be some kind of false flag drone issue where there's apparently some drone that needs getting rid of, and then these people spring to the rescue, and it just justifies everything that they've been doing.
And it may be them that launched the problematic drone, just to say it. Like there was that conspiracy, and I say conspiracy, that the ones, what was it, over Colorado, was a situation where the government was flying drones mysteriously, and it kind of promoted the idea that we have problems with drones just so they can keep doing what they're doing. Again, conspiracy, don't know how much truth there is to it, but if they're going to, it is possible that they can create the problem that they're trying to solve to justify what they're trying to do. So,
well, let's be honest, it's been done time and time again through history.
Yes.
Create a problem, offer the solution.
Yep.
Without the problem, they've got no means to offer the solution, because it's like, well, there's no problem. Well, create a problem, then create the solution. Right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the way a lot of things work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Without putting my tinfoil hat on, I'm not going to go into any examples of that. but of course, there is a lot of proven times that it has actually happened. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm willing to bet eventually there will be some sort of drone incident. Let's not mention the G word. I'm hopefully going to not mention it this stream. But I'm willing to bet it will happen. Whereas, some government somewhere, they want new, harsher drone laws in. So literally go, right, what we'll do is, look, we'll set up some sort of clandestine operation. You know what I mean? If a small group of people who then sort of fly where they shouldn't be, we have to bring in the big guns with these guys and then go, right, new drone regulations, right, we can't have you flying here, we can't have you doing that, right, you know what I mean? And just literally start smashing away at drone laws, you know what I mean?
Love my drone says
without
that.
any major incidents apart from the G word and the H word in the UK. I mean, they're already bringing in new rules, you know what I mean? And you know where I stand on the G word.
Yeah. Ed says that would not surprise me at all, just like the guy with the Phantom on the ski slope. It was obviously staged. Now, I don't know about that story. Does that sound familiar to you, Steve?
What was that? Sorry, mate.
Just look at what Love My Drone says. He goes, that would not surprise me at all. Just like the guy with the Phantom on the ski slope. It was obviously staged. I don't remember any story about that, but I'd be curious. If you have a link to that, Ed, pop it in the chat. I'd like to see that story because I don't recall that one.
Yeah, and for anybody who just heard me coughing, I'm not ill. I just had a sip of my drink in between sentences and it went down the wrong way.
Corona!
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Yeah, no, I'm not ill. Not at the minute anyway, so that's good. Yeah. Right, so, yeah, I think we've just about rounded that one up, mate, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Nothing new, but just
over to my window share right there. Okay, so this says, it's from Drone Life. Let me add the link into the chat. There we go. Paste that in. And this one is, the world needs drone delivery now. Well, we'll see, won't we? So, with social distancing, I'm not even reading it right, the phrase of the week around the world, the time may have come for communities and governments to embrace drone delivery, not just for speed and convenience, but to protect themselves and vulnerable members. I'm guessing that means of society. The World Economic Forum has published a blog post highlighting the contributions that drones have made in the fight against COVID-19. 3 ways China is using drones to fight coronavirus brings out the contributions made by drone delivery in an environment where limiting human-to-human contact is of paramount importance. So in China, drone delivery company JD worked with government stakeholders to dramatically increase service areas to bring supplies to quarantined and isolated areas. With the support of local government, e-commerce company JD deployed its own drone team. The team quickly conducted ground surveys, designed flight corridors, requested airspace access permission, and conducted final flight tests. In just a few days, several drone delivery corridors were put in place, replacing hour-long drives with a 2-kilometre flight that could be completed in just 10 minutes, says the World Economic Forum's article. A bit of a tongue twister, that one. A press release from JD explains, JD opened a drone route to Bayang Lake in Hebei province during the coronavirus period, completing the first delivery on February the 7th. Previously, couriers would deliver packages to the village by boat, but this route was temporarily suspended due to the virus. Drones were a critical tool. Without the drones, couriers would have had to detour over 100 kilometres to deliver via land-based routes. JD explains that the drones drop parcels at a fixed point, allowing customers to pick them up without human-to-human contact, which minimises the risk for both courier and the customer. So already we're seeing this trend. And don't get me wrong, yes, in emergency situations, yeah, that's a good thing. The World Economic Forum article goes on to comment that government agencies must work with service providers to set up drone programs with speed and efficiency in crisis. Coordination between the public and private sector is essential, says the article. Drones are subject to strict regulation outside of consumer use, and civil aviation authorities need to respond quickly to requests for health applications while preserving the safety of the airspace and those on the ground. And look who it is, look, it's our friend Mrs. McNabb right there. So it's our friend Mrs. McNabb, you know, the one who completely botched the G-word story. Fair enough, right? So already then, you know, as hobby flyers, right, already getting squeezed with regulations, right, all the time. No real incidents to think of outside of fake ones like the G word, and already you know what I mean, they've put new regulations in place. There's all this talk of the remote ID thing, and I know that gets your back up, Mark, and a lot of people's backs up, of course. But in emergency situations, yeah, a lot of the stories we cover about drone deliveries are for things like emergency services, like, you know, emergency supplies, you know, organs to transfer, blood transfusions, things like that. That's great.
Yeah.
But don't just like limit the sky for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Just because Uber Eats wants to take over, or Amazon, right, and make big money from it. Yeah, government should be able to, in emergency situations, say, right, we're closing this airspace, whatever. We've got emergency stuff that needs to fly out to people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yes. That's the whole point. Use the technology, whatever, but don't just put a blanket over it. Now, this article seems to just blanket, doesn't it, that it's basically just emergency stuff that they're talking about.
Right.
It does mention that in crisis, yeah, that's a great thing. But, you know, the actual headline of the article is like, the world needs drone delivery now, as if it's something that's like basically essential. It's really not. Yeah. The world's got on just fine without drone deliveries up until now. And I mean, the world still doesn't really have a regular drone delivery thing of things like Uber Eats and Amazon, does it? Let's be honest.
And I mean, look at what happened with the weather and the rain with those matrices or those Inspires that the UK police were using. Remember, they were falling out of the skies. I mean, I think there's a limitation to these things. They're not going to take over regular delivery. There's going to be a severe limitation to them, and weather's going to be one of them. I don't see, this is not the silver bullet to saving money and making more money, I should say, by having drone deliveries. I think it's going to be costly, and I don't think it's going to be the answer to everything. I mean, yeah, you're going to be using less fossil fuels and whatnot, but you are adding more danger. I mean, LiPo batteries and such can cause fires. There's, you know, with one problem solved, like you said, another problem is created. This is not the silver bullet. So stop making it sound like this article is saying that we need this now because we will not survive without it. No, we're going to get along just fine without drone deliveries.
In my own opinion, I'd restructure that article basically. In emergency situations, drone delivery is essential, but otherwise, it's not.
I mean,
that just sums it up in one sentence for me.
Yeah, I mean, we've done the story with the defibrillators that those beat ambulances to people having heart attacks, and they save up to 20 minutes. And with that, you know, time is of the essence. That is a direct, you know, application of getting a drone from point A to point B as the crow flies. I get it. But I don't need my underwear delivered by Amazon by drone. I don't need it that quickly. You know, it's like, come on.
What's essential about that? Nothing.
Exactly. So it's like,
you could wash underwear.
In emergency situations, you know, I know we keep going on to it, but this coronavirus thing is like the first time really the major epidemic in recent years where new measures are having to be put in place, things like lockdowns, closing borders, things like that. And I can only see drone use growing with that. But don't think that just because it works in emergency situations, it needs to be done across the board at all times. Because it doesn't. You know, they say, oh, well, what if a drone falls out of the sky? What if a drone goes haywire? You know, the thing is, you know, and then you've got, you know, beyond visual line of sight flying, automated flying. I mean, you can have AI problems, you know what I mean? Have all sorts of things. And
hacking.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You talked about that.
One of the main reasons they bring out these new rules is safety and privacy, right? Well, safety being the main one. They seem to think that there's a huge safety problem around drones. There's 0 recorded fatalities from hobbyist drones, right? So that's worldwide, right? So there's not really a big safety issue there, is there? There's minor injuries, don't get me wrong, cut finger, a bump on the head now and again, but people who fly drones, generally, you need a fair bit of cash to even get a drone in the first place. Then you need a fair bit of technical know-how. Don't get me wrong, there are idiots, we all know that. But you need a fair bit of technical know-how with some of them to even fly and get them off the ground. So you need to be fairly knowledgeable just to be able to fly a drone and know the rules, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, we're sensible human beings. We can come up with regulations that allow the emergency applications of drones to get through and do what they want, and still have the hobbyists doing what they want, as long as we follow the guidelines and stay in our place, so to speak, with altitude and such. We don't need a complete ban on hobby drones. So, Carpenter Rick, man, thanks for coming in, man. I haven't seen you in a bit, and
Carpenter Rick, you just got a blue wrench as well. Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome
Coast to Coast Drones.
Yes.
Nice to see you too.
If it was someone who came in who I didn't know, I wouldn't give him a blue wrench right away. I'd wait and whatever. That's all good. But I do know you, so there you go.
And I did watch a little bit of it, Ed. I got it queued up to watch later. He did find that link of the Phantom tracking skiers and then having it, let's say, an altercation as a result of it. He says it's staged, and it quite literally could be. I want to hear the story behind it and see it for myself. But anybody who wants to check it out, Love My Drones, put the link in the chat regarding that story of the skier versus Phantom drone on the ski slopes. So have a look at it, and you be the judge. I'm going to take a look at it later. Thanks, Ed, for putting that into the chat.
Yeah, so don't think that backing delivery drones in any sort of capacity is going to be good for the hobby, unless it's emergency situations, because how many articles have we covered, Mike, where it's Uber Eats, Amazon, and all sorts of other delivery companies, right, who want to take huge portions of public airspace where you enjoy flying your drone. They want to take that away so they can use it as delivery corridors, basically. Well,
I mean, I always challenge people. I said, think about it. Fixed wing helicopters, even long before drones. These hobbyists have been doing this for decades. It's never been a problem till drone deliveries became a viable option.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's a problem because of it was never a problem for decades. I don't remember them worrying about fixed wing aircraft or these helicopters that do what they, these phenomenal tricks and stunts. None of that has ever been an issue in the last, since the 80s, 90s, whatever. Nothing. Never once did somebody go, oh, I saw somebody flying a fixed wing remote control plane near my helicopter or my 747.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem because we want to have deliveries.
Yeah.
I need my underwear and Pepto-Bismol right away, so drones
now
come
the
to deliver.
thing is, I recently saw a video on the Facebook drone groups, a video of like a remote control scale jet model of like a 747. Right, this thing was huge. Right, about 10 foot across. Right, these wings or bigger.
Yeah,
and flying it around, and literally mid-air the wing broke off and just went spiraling into the woods. Right, and you're like, if that was a drone, if that was actually a quadcopter drone of that size, can you imagine how much more flack that I'd be getting? Really?
I mean, have you seen the scale models of the fighter jets with the actual jet engines? I mean, these things cruise, and we're talking about using actual jet fuel you know, and engines where you could burn down a freaking forest with it. Nobody's ever complained about those before. Nobody's ever, oh, we got to get these model jets out of the air. We're gonna burn down the forts in the United States. Never a problem. Never a problem.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, Love My Drones has obviously got it right there. You know what I mean? The beginning was the G incident. You know, I didn't want to say the word. And like I say, I'm not going to go into a rant, but you know, 99% sure there was no drones there, right?
Nope.
But
right.
that is now the world sort of scapegoat when it comes to new drone laws. Like, well, what happens? Another incident similar to that.
Yeah, they'll always
the reason
refer
why they
back
couldn't
to
deal with it is because there weren't any there. It was just all fiction. It was, you know what I mean? It was all fiction. They was chasing ghosts. You know what I mean?
They created the problem so they can have new rules to solve that problem.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my overall thought is the world does need drone delivery in emergency situations.
No, the army will. But
not as a blanket rule for big companies to buy up public airspace.
Yeah.
I need my tacos immediately.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to wait for the delivery driver then, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. just like it's been for a long time. You just wait for the guy to show up.
Old
and get
school
your
is
pizza,
good.
Right? Or
Old
your
school
underwear.
is good school. Yep.
Yeah.
Old school.
I was going to say your
school.
CDs, but that's been and gone. Yeah. Carpenter Rick said imagine being the poor guy they almost hung over that. I believe you mean the guy who got the finger pointed at him about the G word. Yeah, without any real evidence, just basically he flew drones and he lived nearby, but he was at work, right? And they knew that straight away, right? His boss said, yeah, he was at work while that was going on, yeah, do you know what I mean? All that lot. They still arrested him, took him into custody, you know, national media got his picture, pasted it over the front page of all the newspapers and all that lot, and I believe he has successfully sued them as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I think he
took pictures
on that,
off his Facebook profile
of him and his girlfriend.
And put them all over the front page of the news. Now, with all this drone registration and whatnot, right? I've got a Mavic Pro sat right there. I'm not a registered flyer. I could still just go outside right now and fly that, right? Would I own up to it if I wanted to do it? No. But if I was doing something illegal with that, like in terms of spying on someone or flying too close to something I shouldn't be, who are the police going to go looking for? They're going to have a list of everybody nearby who's registered and they're going to go speak to them.
Yep.
They probably wouldn't find me.
No. Yep.
So it's the people who register that suffer for the bad people's actions who don't register. It doesn't fix the problem. It's a fallacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah. They did have somebody in their sights, and it turned out to be he had an alibi, and But I'm glad he sued him. I really am.
Yeah. I'm sure he's living a very happy life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he literally hid himself away because the world's media was mobbing him after he got out and all that lot, wanting his story, and he was, I don't want to speak to you. It was false. It's all false. Don't want to speak to you. Keep away from me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know why they came to me and just arrested me outright. I think he did do like a public statement, not like on camera or anything, but in some magazine or something. He was like, I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I mean? They just wanted a scapegoat right there without any evidence, just so that they had something like, right, we've got the guy. You know what I mean? Something like that. Because the situation was desperate. That's all we could do, was just scapegoat somebody for the time being. Let's just bring him in, bring in the emergency regulations, hold him for 24 hours and all that lot, you know what I mean? Yeah, there was mobbing his whole family, Carpenter Rick. It was evil what they did. It really was. Yeah, not good. Now, that's what I mean. If I was, say if somebody got a drone round here and there was flying, say, right across from me is like a public park, right? You get a lot of dog walkers and kids playing and things like that. If there's somebody hovering a drone round all the kids playing, something like that, for example, right, and I was registered, the police had come, wouldn't they, to me? They go, right, who's nearby, who's like 10 blocks away? Get them all, we'll go knock, see what they're all up to, right? They'd come knock on my door, wouldn't they? Just because I've registered. That's what they'll do, you know what I mean? And this guy who flew drones, I believe he was a PFCO. So he was registered, he was the closest person, so they just went straight to him. It's ridiculous. Newfound Drone Productions, hello there. Welcome to the stream. Yes,
And
I'm just getting a few things off my chest right now.
As a little side note, and I may be wrong, but I'm going to double check this. I believe Newfound Drone Productions and Coast to Coast Drones both hit their 1K in the last week or so.
Oh, nice.
I believe so. I believe that is the case. So again, congratulations if you hit your 1K. Nice that you did that. Nice milestone. Congratulations.
Yes. Hello there. Newfound Drone Productions, hello. Yes, indeed. So, Mark, another story, mate. Let's keep them coming.
Yes, I got another one. Good to go.
Okay, there we go. Over to you, mate. It's done.
So let me copy this and put it in the chat. This one is from actually Canada. So boom, done. Okay, so Drone Volt and Hydro-Quebec partnered to develop new drone technology. This is nothing significantly new. I know that this has been in the works, but essentially, here we go. Let's get to it. It says, artificial intelligence expert and drone developer Drone Volt has signed a memorandum of understanding with Canadian firm Hydro-Quebec to exclusively develop and market drone technology designed to inspect high voltage power transmission lines. Now this is interesting because I'm always wondering, I got a bunch of them here and there's some really neat towers to fly near. And I've always wondered whether or not a signal between my transmitter and my drone would be affected by high power tension lines like this. Not saying it wouldn't, but they obviously are combating that for this to work. The drones developed by the teams at Hydro-Quebec's research center can take precise measurements of live lines using sensors without interrupting service. This solution can decrease the risk faced by workers and reduce the number of traditional helicopter inspections, leading to less greenhouse emissions. Not only that, it's just a safety factor. If you've ever seen, Steve, in the U.S., they have people doing these inspections and they're flying out, and they got a guy who's tethered on a helicopter, and they're getting pretty close to these lines, and they're doing these inspections. And we know that even Hollywood and major movie production companies have gone to drones because they're just so much cheaper, safer, and I like the green aspect of it as well. They're not using internal combustion engines to do this. Okay, so going on, it says, stating that Hydro-Quebec has worked on sustainable development initiatives and Drone Volt shares the same values. CEO and Chairman Oliver Goldoni, I think it's pronounced, said for several months Drone Volt's strategy has been to focus on the inspection of power grids, and the agreement attests to our know-how in this area. And again, let's see here. Our drone technology allows us to safely inspect high voltage lines in a wide range of geographic and climate conditions. And again, a lot of these high tension lines traverse areas of the country that are not easily traversed. They're going through mountainous areas and such. And again, pretty remote. Let's see here. We have been testing this technology on our own facilities for some years now, and it has proven its effectiveness in simplifying our activities. And this is new. I mean, I don't know how much we're doing this in the States. I'm sure it's in development, but using a drone to work and inspect power lines is a much safer alternative. And I don't know, on a side note, have you ever seen that video of, it looks to be like some plastic trash bags or something tangled in high tension wires, and they use a drone with a flamethrower to get it off the lines? Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff like that now, which is a lot safer than sending some poor bloke up in a helicopter in order to remove that stuff. Ooh. So, I know, and you never know. Hold on for a second.
Okay, it's getting hassled by the wife. Okay.
Okay, no, she needed something, and I just wanted to make sure she doesn't want to overtly know that she's being heard online, so I'm giving her the benefit, and I just muted myself. She just needed something from me. We're all good.
Let's spin the camera. You're live.
You're live. Well, it's been funny. I've been live. I've been live, and I use this boom mic here, and I used to have a microphone on my headset, but I've gone to the boom mic, and I've had to kind of give her the shush because she'll be like all happy and singing down the hallway and everybody can hear her online. I'm like, hon, they can hear you singing. she turns beet red, of course. So I try to keep her in the loop of things like that. But yeah, go Quebec. This is cool. More uses of drones. And this is a very specific purpose, and I'm sure that people flying drones to do inspections, we would not be interfering in any way with our hobby. So again, a lot of applications of drones where we can get along together just fine and not crash into one another. So,
Now, any job that involves working at height, where you
oh
don't
yeah,
actually need to do anything physical, just inspect, drones are the perfect solution.
yes, yes.
You know,
Okay.
even like a small company doing stuff, you know, just
Yeah,
get a drone and just fly up there. Obviously, you need
and
to
that,
register and follow the rules and everything, but
oh, of course. Love
you
my
know,
drone says I.
if you're out in the middle of nowhere and it's just you and you need to inspect the top of a building or something that you own, of course, you just get a drone and have a look. You know, you don't need to bring in like a cherry picker and
Right.
you know, safety harnesses and all that lot and do all the paperwork, the risk assessments and that. You just have a
Oh,
quick look with
OSHA.
your drone and bring it back down.
I mean, the OSHA regulations for inspecting high tension wires with that kind of power and going up in the air, I've got to be 3 inches thick. A manual for that. With a drone, I'm sure it's reduced significantly. Love my drone says I bumped the high tension lines coming across where I live a number of times. Granted, only 7,620 volts to ground, but the drone doesn't care. And it says it was fine because you asked him, Steve, did it survive? It was fine. It didn't care shooting. I hung my shut up, lifted right back off out and took off right away. My wing just skipped off the line, no issues, but it's foam. Yeah, no, that's good to know because I may actually fly in an area where there are a few high tension wires I'd have to worry about. So I just have these images of me flying, hitting the line, and just seeing this big burst of sparks and disintegrating my quad.
Yeah, like
So
poof.
yeah,
Like, where did the feathers
yeah,
come from?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could, somehow feathers appeared and boom, gone. Nothing left, just disintegrated. So I wasn't sure. I'm not that knowledgeable on how electricity works through those high tension lines. So I was just being better safe than sorry kind of philosophy. But good to hear that. Thanks for letting me know, guys.
I was kind of imagining, you know, on like the YouTube fail compilations and stuff, where you see like heavy winds and they blow like a carrier bag onto like the transformer boxes at the
Yeah,
top of
yeah.
the
Oh, and they
electrical
spark
poles,
like
and they go big arc of electricity comes out, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
blow me now.
yeah. You
I
got to touch
don't
both
know.
ones. Yeah. So
Yeah, right. So that's another great story there, Mark. Thank you
yeah.
for
Thank
sharing that
thank
one.
you, thank
And
you.
got time for just one more of mine.
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll
And I'll
switch
start
over to me
researching.
right there, and I will resize this slightly. Or I won't, I'll just move it. So this one is from Nottinghamshire, nottinghampost.com, and it is based in Nottinghamshire. Let me just paste that in the chat for you there. So drone footage shows the rapidly changing Nottingham city skyline, Nottingham Centre skyline, city centre. So obviously this one does have images, look. So Southside drone footage, and this is all commissioned, it's all legal footage and whatnot. I don't know if I want to play that because it's on their website and you know what it's like. So I'm not going to play it, but there is a lot of images, so that's alright. So drone footage and stunning aerial pictures show the vast scale of the multi-million-pound transformation of the south side of the city. The drone footage was taken partly from the Island Quarter, where new homes, high-spec office space, a 5-star hotel and student accommodation are planned for the Boots Island site between Manvers Street at the bottom of Sneinton and London Road. Drone photography taken on location from the site where the new Broadmarsh car park is being built, the Unity Square Tower Block and Nottingham City's Council's Loxley House HQ, Station Street, has also provided a snapshot of redevelopment well underway at a number of sites. Councillor David Mellon, leader of the City Council, said, while people are used to seeing gradual progress on the ground across the Southside area, these photos show the extent of what our ambitious plans for the area look like from above. And then in quotes, Gary! That's not in quotes, but Gary, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Gary!
And Brant Aerials, do you have Skype, mate? Because I could do with a Skype call with you. Well, me and Mark could as well. We're going to have a little Skype call with a few people after this stream. So, yes, please put in your Skype thingy or whatever, and we'll get in touch after the stream. So, in quotes then, we are proud of our redevelopment of Nottingham's Southside area, which has already given jobs, training and professional qualifications to over 1,000 local people as they contribute to the transformation of Nottingham. The drone photography was commissioned by the City Council. So that's good news, and this is obviously as they're building stuff up. An overhead view of the Broadmarsh area. Obviously for people who don't live around here, you're not really going to know, but that looks like all new builds. and everything, and they've actually commissioned a drone flyer to go take pictures of that, where in the past you'd need a helicopter crew, you know what I mean? You would need a helicopter for that. Mad Kiwi, hello
absolutely.
there, thank you for joining us.
Mad
we
Kiwi.
are close to wrapping up in about 5 minutes, say.
Yeah.
There we go, but that looks really, really good. An overhead view of the city there, just scrolling through, you know what I mean? View of the island quarter site, and it looks like it's all getting built up. But this is all been done by drones, of course. Now, some of these shots look very high up. If they're not right on the 400 mark, they're just below it, I'm sure of it. But that looks about 400 feet to me, in all fairness. Yeah. That looks high up, doesn't it? But that's all good. Obviously, if they've been commissioned by the council, then obviously they will be flying legally. Well, you'd assume so. Wiccan Ride says, this is Thomas Whiterose, by the way. Hello there, dude. Hello. Welcome. Is this a new channel? It's the first time I've encountered that one before.
It's his new channel.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, I missed that comment there. Yeah. New channel for his motorcycle. Yes. Yes, there we go. There we go. Mad Kiwi says, baby boom imminent. They will be called coronials.
Coronials, oh Lord.
I saw it, I read it out. I'm not sure why I did. Right? Okay. No, thanks for the comment, mate. You know, all comments are good, you know.
Funny.
Yeah, there we go. Right, so we're just looking at drone footage, drone pictures now. Just scrolling through. That one looks a little bit skewed, that one, but I think that's you know, it's all good. So there we go. I thought I'd share that. These are obviously not drone photos, unless someone is flying a drone around the office. That looks like that's all photoshopped, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah.
You can see the lighting's not right. That's a cardboard cutout right there. Yeah, so these aren't real, right? I'll scroll back to the actual
That's what
headline.
it's going to look like on the inside.
Yeah, I'll scroll back to the headline. There we go. So there we go. City councils are now commissioning these things as well, so that's good. Wiccan Ride says, any drones been used to disinfect areas with corona? Yes, in China. That's what they've been doing.
China are on it, aren't they, with all this cleaning?
We covered a story on it last week, I believe, where a Chinese company had actually retrofitted crop spraying drones with the disinfectant, basically, and was flying over cities where there was on lockdown and actually spraying through the streets with them. Yeah, so it has been done, and it wouldn't surprise me if this stuff becomes more common as well.
Right.
So,
and if there's any light at the end of the tunnel, we had Dennis Lovelady on a live stream I was testing yesterday, and his wife is from China, and she's kind of stuck there now. And according to her, and again, we got to take this with a grain of salt, they've plateaued, and I think they've stopped seeing an increase in numbers of occurrences. If that's happening in China, that's good news. If that's happening.
Yes.
That's it. So let's keep our fingers crossed. We just have to plateau here on the, over here across the pond, so to speak, and we'll be fine. But in the meantime, we're panicking. It's the zombie apocalypse.
Yes. So obviously we're at that point in the show now, Mark.
Yeah. And I've been looking.
Where we look for somebody.
I have, and you tell me if you have anybody, but I have Dream Reaper Gaming, Jeanette Pickering, Honeycomb Baby.
Jeanette's not live. I've just checked.
Oh, okay. It's still registering as live here. Paranormal People, Ford Neck 2156, and NMLB Gaming. That's who I have live according to my list right now. Okay. So yeah, maybe Love My Drone says maybe that's why Dennis is always smiling. His wife is in China. Oh, that's.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to read that comment. That's pretty funny. Hey, Canadian Drone Hub's in too.
Oh, cool. Hello there. Hello.
Oh, he's
welcome.
Out of it.
A bird in the hand as well. Oh my goodness. There's a late flourish of viewers.
Oh Lord, yes.
Yes. Bird in the hand. I've been seeing you everywhere lately. Welcome to the stream. Blue wrench for you right there. There we go. Oh, I like it. I like it.
I'm curious, Roger. Why did you not have internet? Have you been complaining too much to Canada Bell? I mean, did they shut you off because of? This poor guy has been trying to get his high-speed internet there. They've been talking about putting fiber optic in, and they're just stonewalling. That poor guy. He does a great job with under a meg upload. under a meg, and he does what he does. Canadian
Yes.
Drone Hub, check him out if you haven't done so already. Great
Yes,
channel.
please do. Roger
Yeah.
is like the linchpin in the middle of like a lot of drone channels on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And how a lot
Absolutely.
of us met as well, you know, through Roger and his great
Yes.
live streams, you know what I mean? So that's all good.
Yep.
Yes, there we go, Roger. We always put in a very good word for you when you come in.
Well,
mate,
he
you know,
he
and you
deserves
deserve
it. So.
Yes.
They had a major problem. Everyone in town had no net. Okay, well, I'm glad you got it back, man. Must have cut you off your live stream short. You usually stay on until noon. So.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt Kiwi.
I have a stream ready.
Good. I'm glad you have something.
And this is a guy, right, called Everything Spicy. Have you heard of this guy before?
I've heard of him. Yes, I have.
This guy, I'm not kidding, right? On his live streams, he finds extremely hot chili peppers, and he eats some really obscure, horrible foods as well, including that. I think it's called like sterngrummen or something like that. It's like tinned fermented fish from like Sweden or something, and it's meant to be like ridiculously bad. Yeah, like fermented sardines or something. And they age it for years before you open it as well.
No, but that's stinks.
And you just eat it raw out the tin. Right? And he ate that. He's also eaten like raw eggs, and he eats the shells as well. Right? This, honestly, and he's quite well spoken and quite polite. He's not like some sort of savage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there we go. So if you want to go over and raid him, remember, Brant Aerials, if you would please put in like some sort of Skype name or something, or some way we can get in touch with you, because we do need to kind of chat with you about something.
We need to chat, Gary.
Yeah,
You're in
please
trouble,
put some
mister.
sort of contact details in the chat for us, please, mate. And that's all good. Or
I'm going to put my email in the chat. I don't care because it's on my channel anyway.
Yeah.
So, Brant, if you want to give me contact information, particularly particularly like a Skype, if you use Skype. If you don't use Skype, we can do Zoom at first and then maybe set you up. So here's my email. So if you don't leave Steve a note, email me and I can send you a link. We can set up a Zoom chat if you don't have Skype, and then we can talk to you about what our intentions are. And you're not in that much trouble, just a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his email up there too.
okay,
So
yeah, we'll get in touch with you real soon, mate. We need to speak to you about something. It's very good. And Eagle VP, I'll be in touch with you literally 5 or 10 minutes after the stream. That's all good on Skype. So open your Skype and be ready, mate. Okay, if you would, please. Okay, just like Eagle, do this. Eagle, do that. Yeah. Okay, right. So Everything Spicy is live. Please go over there, put in like aerial views raid, something like that, or Tadar raid, or whatever you like. And this is Everything Spicy. I've been in there loads of times, so let me just paste that in there. That's all good, and we'll see you over there in a few minutes. Remember, on Saturday night there is a new show going on Mark's channel this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. UK time, and it's still a little bit under wraps, but it'll be very good, right, Mark?
Yeah, it's an offshoot of the.
Mark's gonna flagship the first show, and we'll see where it goes from there. It'll be very good, trust me. On Mark's channel Saturday night. Okay, so catch us there on Saturday. We'll see you all over in Everything Spices live stream. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll catch you all very soon. Okay.
Take care, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for joining.
There we go.
I'm just trying
Farewell,
to get to the
everybody.
chat
Thanks for joining us. Great stream. You know what I mean? I'm just blowing my own trumpet right there. I've had a great stream, should I say?
Yeah.
All right. Farewell, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take
See
care,
you over in
everybody.
Everything Spices live stream.
Take care, everybody.